Today we are going to discuss the topic about types of single phase induction motor. The single phase induction motor classified at different types. One is split phase induction motor, capacitor start motor, capacitor run motor, capacitor start run motor and shaded pole motor. First one is split phase induction motor. Split phase induction motor, it has two stator windings. One is main winding and another one is auxiliary winding or starting winding. The main winding another called running winding, auxiliary winding another named as starting winding. This two winding is classified into 90-degree electrical degree. Supply is given to the stator winding, a rotating magnetic field is produced. The RMF is cut in the start of circuit. The rotor conductor and magnetic field is produced. Due to interaction of stator and rotor field is torque developed in the rotor. When motor speed is 75%, centrifugal switch disconnected to the auxiliary main winding from the supply. Torque due to contributed winding. This is the circuit diagram of split phase induction motor and it is the phasor diagram of split phase induction motor. Next, working. Characteristics of split phase induction motor. A starting torque is 1.5 times to 2 times full load torque and starting current is 6 to 8 times full load current and operating power factor is 0.55 to 0.65. Efficiency is 60% to 65%. Power rating is 1.6 to 1 divided by 3 HP. Speed near 1500 to 1440. Then it has mainly used for fans, flowers, centrifugal pumps and washing machines. Capacitor start single phase induction motor. The capacitor start single phase induction motor connected in series of auxiliary winding and also used to head high starting torque. Single phase applied to the two winding. The starting current IS lead the line voltage because of the capacitor present auxiliary winding. The running current IR lags the line voltage. The phase displacement between the current approximately equal to 90 degree during the starting. Starting torque is higher. Starting line current is less and power factor is improved. This is the circuit diagram of capacitor start induction motor. The previous diagram, one additional capacitor will be added in the circuit. Then it is the phasor diagram of capacitor start motor. It is the characteristic of capacitor start single phase induction motor is starting torque is 3.5 to 4.5 and starting torque is 30 to 80%. Power factor is 0.65 to 0.75. Efficiency 65 to 70% and power rating is 1.8 to 3 by 4 HP. And application, it has mainly used for compressor, pumps, conveyors, air conditioning and refrigerator, washing machine. Capacitor run motor. In this motor, capacitor permanently connected in series with auxiliary winding. Centrifugal switch is connected to the motor is less. The capacitor value will be 20 to 50 megahertz. It is AC paper oil type capacitor. And it is the circuit diagram of capacitor run motor. Then characteristics. the torque range will be 50 to 100 percentage full load, and power factor is 0.75 to 0.80, efficiency 75 to 80 percentage. Advantage of capacitor and motor is high power factor at full load, high full load efficiency, increased full load torque, and low full line current. And application is it has used for fan, flowers and centrifugal pumps and table fans, etc. Capacitor start, capacitor run motor. Here two capacitors are used. One capacitor is CS used for starting purpose, and another capacitor CR is used for running purpose. In this motor we had high starting torque. The value of starting capacitor CS is large and the value of running capacitor CR is small, and CR is permanently connected in the series with the auxiliary winding. It is the circuit diagram of capacitor start and capacitor run motor. The capacitor C is used for the developing high starting torque and CR is used for improve the power factor. Characteristics: the starting torque range will be 3 to 3.5 full load torque, and efficiency improved power factor is 0.9 and full load torque is 260%. And advantage of capacitor start, capacitor run motor is high starting torque, high efficiency and high power factor. Application: it mainly used for compressor, pumps, conveyors and refrigerators, etc. Shaded pole induction motor. Shaded pole induction motor is a split phase type of single phase induction motor. It has salient pole on the stator excited by single phase supply and squirrel cage rotor. A portion of each poles surrounded by the short circuit turn of copper strip called shading coil. It has no commutator, presses, collector rings and capacitor or moving switch part. It's relatively cheaper and simple. The operation of shaded pole induction motor is: during the portion of alternating current cycle, the flux begin increases and an EMF induced to the coil. The resulting current shading coil each direction as to oppose the change in flux. During the portion of AB of alternating current cycle, the flux has reached almost maximum value, is not changing. As flux decreases, portion of PC alternating current cycle current is induced in the shading coil so that oppose the decrease the current. Characteristic: the starting torque range will be 0.4 to 0.8, efficiency is less than 35%, power factor is 0.40% poor, and torque flow torque is 50%, and power rating is 2.5 to 40 watts. Applications: it is mainly used for fan, flowers, turntable, hair dryers, clocks and slide projectors, etc. Thank you.